realized my mother was lying when she called me from a police station I'd never heard of and asked me to bring $50,000 in cash. She told me not to ask questions and, very specifically, not to tell my father. "Just come," she said. "Please, I don't have time to explain." The call ended before I could say anything else, leaving me staring at my phone like it had personally betrayed me. My mother doesn't panic. She doesn't whisper. She doesn't call her daughter close to midnight and sound like she's hiding in a cupboard. I tried calling her back immediately. She didn't pick up. At 26, I was living alone in a rented one-bedroom in Bengaluru, juggling an education loan, rent, and the constant feeling that adulthood was one missed EMI away from collapsing. I didn't have $50,000 lying around, but the thought of telling my mother no felt impossible. When she finally answered on the third call, I asked her where she was. There was a long pause on the line, the kind that makes your skin prickle. "Near the old bus stand," she said. "The police station there." "Which one?" I asked. "Near Shivaji Circle." That's when something felt off. There is no Shivaji Circle near the old bus stand in our district. I grew up there. I've walked those roads barefoot as a child and cursed them as an adult. "Amma," I said carefully. "Are you sure?" "Yes," she snapped, then softened immediately. "Just come, okay? Don't make this harder." Then she started crying. Not loud sobbing, but quiet broken breathing that made me feel cruel for even hesitating. So I borrowed money from my savings, booked a cab, and went anyway. The police station looked smaller and sadder than I expected, with peeling yellow paint and a single tube light flickering like it was tired of existing. It didn't feel like a place meant to solve problems, just contain them. My mother was sitting on a wooden bench, her sari pallu pulled tightly over her head. Her eyes were swollen and red, and she looked older than I remembered seeing her even a week ago. Next to her was my cousin Raghav, my father's sister's son, the golden boy of the family, the one everyone trusted with money, errands, secrets. He was staring at the floor, jaw clenched, hands shaking slightly. I looked around. "Where's the officer?" I asked. No one answered. "Amma?" I said again, louder this time. She looked up like she hadn't expected me to actually come. For a split second, something crossed her face. Relief, guilt, fear, all tangled together. "You brought it?" she asked immediately. I didn't answer. "Where's Appa?" Raghav cleared his throat. "He doesn't know yet." Something cold settled in my chest. "Doesn't know what?" My mother pressed her lips together, eyes filling again. "Your father filed a complaint." I almost laughed out of reflex. My father avoids conflict like it's contagious. He apologizes when other people bump into him. Against whom? I asked, already knowing the answer. She didn't look at me when she said it. Against Raghav. The silence after that felt artificial, like the room itself had stopped breathing. "For what?" I asked. Raghav finally looked up. His eyes were bloodshot, his voice hoarse. "Cheating. Fraud." "That's not funny," I said automatically, because my brain refused to accept it. "No one's joking," my mother whispered. I looked at Raghav, really looked at him. This was the same man who borrowed money from relatives and always repaid it. The same man who helped my father file pension forms and fix his phone. The same man who ate lunch at our house every Sunday without fail. "This doesn't make sense," I said. "You don't do things like this." Raghav swallowed hard. "I didn't mean for it to happen." That sentence scared me more than a denial would have. 3 years earlier, my father had received his retirement payout from the railways. It wasn't massive, but it was enough to finally make him feel secure for the first time in decades. Raghav had come to him with an investment idea. A logistics startup run by a friend of a friend. Promised returns, low risk, practically guaranteed. According to him. My father hesitated. "He always did with money. My mother didn't. He's family," she'd said. "We should help." There was no paperwork, no contracts. Just trust and bank transfers. For the first year, the returns came on time. Small but steady, enough to make everyone relax. Then the messages slowed. Then stopped. When my father asked, Raghav said there were market issues. GST delays, supply chain problems. He sounded convincing enough. My father waited patiently. My mother didn't. One afternoon, while Raghav was in the bathroom, she checked his phone. She didn't mean to snoop. She told me later. She just wanted reassurance. What she found instead made her hands shake. There were messages about betting, online gambling groups, screenshots of losses that kept getting bigger. When she confronted him, Raghav broke down. He cried. He swore he would fix everything and begged her not to tell my father. I just need time, he'd said. Please, Mommy, don't destroy everything. She believed him because believing him felt easier than destroying the family. My father found out anyway. Not through a confession, but through a bank alert. A loan application in his name that he hadn't made. Raghav had tried to take a personal loan using him as a guarantor. That was the moment my father went to the police. And that was when my mother panicked. I thought if we paid something back immediately, he might withdraw the complaint. She told me at the station, twisting the edge of her sorry. They said it could be settled. Who said that? I asked. She didn't answer. I turned to Raghav. You told her this, didn't you? He looked away. I was desperate. I stood up because sitting felt like suffocating. You called me here to clean this up behind Appa's back? My mother grabbed my wrist. He'll never forgive me if this goes forward. And what about me? I snapped. You lied to me. You dragged me into this. Her face crumpled. I didn't know what else to do. A police officer finally walked out, sipping tea like he had all the time in the world. He looked at us and said, Is the money coming or not? Something snapped inside me then. Not anger, clarity. No, I said. Everyone stared at me. This isn't my problem to fix, I said, my voice shaking but steady. You don't get to use me as a secret solution, my mother whispered. Please. I'll talk to Appa, I said. We'll handle it together. Or not at all. Raghav stood abruptly. Do you know what will happen to me if this continues? I looked at him. Do you know what already happened to us? I called my father from outside the station. He answered on the second ring. Where are you? He asked quietly. At the police station, I said, with Amma. There was a pause, then a tired sigh. I know. He came the next morning. Calm. Controlled. Devastated in a way that didn't need volume. He listened to everything without interrupting. I am not filing this complaint because of the money, he said finally, looking at Raghav. I am filing it because you thought I would never find out. The case didn't end dramatically. No arrests, no shouting. Months later, there was a settlement. Some money was recovered. Most of it was gone forever. What changed was us. My parents moved around each other carefully for weeks. Raghav stopped coming over. Family gatherings became tense and divided. And I stopped being the daughter who fixes things quietly. I learned that love doesn't mean covering up someone else's choices. That silence is not peace. Sometimes growing up means realizing your parents are just people scared, flawed, and capable of pulling you into their mistakes if you let them. I still think about that phone call sometimes. About how easily I could have paid the money and walked away feeling useful. I'm glad I didn't. Because some debts shouldn't be paid in cash.